Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have the roster showcase for 2021. This is an annual roster showcase where I show each engine that I own, show my entire roster for you, and yeah, these videos are actually pretty useful, both just to show you guys what I have and what I'm up to, but also for myself. You know, I like to document how my roster has changed over the years. For example, you know, which engines are no longer here and which ones are new, and I think that's pretty cool to compare. And just for myself, just to see like what how many engines I have, and clearly I have too many. But anyways, some quick stats. I counted how many I had last year. I had 57 last year, and this year I have 65. That's not including this one right here. But yeah, there's 65 engines. I'd like to get that number down to around 63. I mean, I'm pretty okay with 65. I don't want it to get past 75, though. That's kind of 75. That's my reach there. And I do have a very specific reason to own every single engine. You know, I have good intentions. I don't just buy engines impulsively. Again, except for that engine. But all engines I buy for a good reason. Just anyways, I'm not gonna explain why, but I feel the need to have 65 engines. I think it might be a bit much, but I really like each engine. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to quickly go through just like how I'm going to go through all this stuff. So first off, I'm going to go through the small engines, which are around here. I have the medium and then larger steam wrapping around the outside. And then I'll go over to the diesels and electrics and RDCs, I guess. And then lastly, we'll visit this engine right here. So without further ado, because this will take a long time if I continue talking, so we'll start right here. So first off, we have an IHC slash Mehano Baltimore, Ohio C16A, I believe. Next up, we have a Baltimore, Ohio C16. This is by WWII. It has upgraded mechanism and also a cam motor and also DCC sound. Next up, we have a Tyco Mantua 040. Next, we have a Bowser A5, Pennsylvania A5S. This one actually was one of the later kits where it actually has a factory supplied can motor and Delrin gears, which runs really well. It also has the super detail kit, as you can see, with a whole lot of brass details. Next up, we have a Sunset Prestige Series A5. And then we have a Pennsylvania Railroad B6SB made by Red Ball Brass. Next, we have a Lifelike Proto 2000 USRA 060. This will eventually, hopefully, be painted into New York Central colors, but for now, I just got a Chicago Northwestern one because that's the only one I could find on eBay. Next up, we have my very first engine. This is my truly first engine, which is a Chattanooga, Bachmann Chattanooga 060 USRA, even though it's not really. Next up, we have a Proto 2000 Pennsylvania Railroad USRA 060. This is the B28 class 060. Next up, we have a New York Central USRA 080, also by Lifelike Pro 2000. And then also we have a Bachmann 440. This is a painted for Seaboard. And yeah, this is the reason actually. This engine is why my channel is called Trainman440. It's my not really first engine, but one of the bigger purchases that's not really fake and toy like that one. So yeah. Next up, we have a Bachmann 460 10-wheeler. This is painted for Southern. And then we have two Bachmann 280s. These, as you guys know, back then I had up to 9 of these at one point in time. I sold a lot of them off because I felt like having 9 of them was a bit ridiculous, so I only have 2 left. One's in Baltimore, Ohio, one's in New York Central. Interestingly, the New York Central engine is the first engine I ever installed DCC sound in, and it was actually pretty cool. It was pretty successful. It looks really good. Yeah, these are really nice engines, and yeah. Alright, next we're going to go around here to the yard. So first off here we have 4 Pennsylvania Railroad H-Class 280s. This one's a H9 by MTH, painted for Long Island. This one will be modified and upgraded. This one is a factory default Broadway Limited H10 with the wrong tender. Then we have, or not Lines West tender, very uncommon. Anyways, next this one is a Sunset H9. Yeah, first run of their H9, H8/H9, and then this one is a Sunset. Oh shoot, third run. Oops, that would have been disaster. Sunset third run or latest run of a Sunset H9 of the Pennsylvania H9. My bad. This one's factory painted. Next up, we have an NJCB Santa Fe 1800 class 262 Prairie. Yeah, pretty standard. Next up we have, and these 3 are all Santa Fe 280s. This is a Hallmark one with a 2507 class, and then XKMCO, KM and O. And then these 2 are both the 1900 class. This one's by PFM United. These are very common, and this one's by Sunset. Here we have 2 Pennsylvania Railroad L1Ss. This one's by PFM United, and this one's by Broadway Limited. Here we have a gem brass Pennsylvania Railroad E6. Here we have a West Side Southern Pacific P10, streamlined with supposedly daylight colors, but I haven't painted it yet. And I realistically never will because I don't know how to paint daylight colors. I'm not confident in that. Anyways, next up we have here a Broadway Limited Paragon 2 Santa Fe 484, the 3751 class. Here we have a Santa Fe NJCB Santa Fe 442. This is my first ever brass engine. I love this engine. I never really showcased though, which is unfortunate. It is the 1480 class. Here we have a PFM United Santa Fe 284 Berkshire, the 4101 class. My first ever brass paint job. I'm pretty happy with this. Here we have the new Broadway Limited 4000 class Mikado Santa Fe. Yeah. Here we have a Broadway Limited Paragon 2 Santa Fe 2102, the 3800 class. Here we have two Proto 2000 Berkshires, both painted for Nickel Plate Road. One of them has a Mars Light, one doesn't. One came with QSSL, another one came without. I installed TCS West in it. This is the second run. This is the first run. You could tell by the number of sand domes. I think the first run they only made the as-built, and then later they made the modified version of the Berkshire. But in any case, here we have two very different engines. This one's a Broadway Limited Paragon 2 Dreyfus Hudson. This is a Samhangsa Key New York Central L2A Mohawk, excuse me. Probably the pride of my fleet, probably one of my favorite engines here. Here we have a Broadway Limited Paragon 2 New York Central J1D. Yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty good engine. Next up here we have a MTH GS4. This engine needs no introduction, 449. Here we have a Tenshoto Santa Fe 3460 class Hudson. These are actually very common, and I plan to super detail this one, so it's kind of in parts. Here we have three USRA Mikados. At one point I wanted to own one of every single USRA Mikado. This is Trix, this one's by Broadway Limited, and this one's by MTH. The ones I'm missing currently here are the Athearn Genesis, the Bachmann, and a whole bunch of brass ones, including the Oriental Powerhouse, which is technically die-cast. I sold off my Athearn Genesis one, which I originally owned, and I don't plan to get any more. I figured 3 Mikados is more than enough. If I get any more, I look insane, so I don't need any more. Next up, here we have a West Side Pennsylvania Road G5. And here we have a BLI Paragon 2 I1sa with the long haul tender. Alright, and then we're going to talk about the engines that are not on the track here. We have 5 K4s, Pennsylvania K4s. There's 2 MTH ones here. This is the post-war. This one's a early with the nice, what do you call it, striping. These two are both Bachmann. One's post-war and this one's pre-war. I modified these fairly heavily. Here we have a Broadway Limited M1B. This one is not one of K4s. Here's the Broadway Limited K4 post-war Paragon 2. That's the 5 K4s and the M1B. That's just sneaking in there, or hiding in there. Here we have a PCM. That's Precision Craft Models. That is a Broadway, not really well-known Broadway Limited sub-brand, I guess you could say, sort of like Blue Line. Which is an I1sa class, and yeah, this is basically the predecessor to the Paragon 2 version, and the Paragon 3 version, now the Paragon 4 version. But the PCM was meant to be like a highly detailed subcategory of Broadway Limited engines, and they look really good, so yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for those engines, so hopefully I didn't miss any. Over here, we have all the diesels and electric and whatever. We'll start in the front here. So this is a Kato F40PH, really nice engine. I added a whole light package to it. All the lights work except the emergency light. Here we have a MDC Roundhouse model, EMD Model 40. Here's a Tyco trolley, which I added a custom drive to, so it's nice and quiet. Here we have a Bachmann GG1, Pennsylvania Road. It's the Blackjack. Here we have an ABBBA set. ABBBA, yeah, that's enough B's. Okay, cool. ABBBA set of Santa Fe F7s. These two are by Athearn Genesis, the blue box. This is Athearn Genesis yellow box, which is unpowered. I removed the motor from this one because it was kind of acting up. And then these two are both MTH F7s. Over here we have two lifelike Proto 1000 Santa Fe RDCs. As you know, Santa Fe only had 2 RDCs, and they were numbered 191 and 192. Those are the 2 right here. Here we have two Lifelike Pro 2000 Santa Fe PA units. I only have the PAs because that was the constants they used to pull the San Diegan. No PBs. Here we have two Santa Fe GP9s, both in the Zebra scheme. This one's by Lifelike Pro 2000, this one's by Adern Genesis. So that is it for the diesels. Not that many, as you can tell, compared to my Steam, but still, I'd argue pretty impressively, I hope. I don't really know. And lastly here, this is an impulse buy. It's a West Side Brass O-Scale Santa Fe 1360 class, which is very similar to the 4000 class, 282. It's 2-rail. It's not, I guess not really Pro 48, but it's O-Scale pretty much. And I don't really know what to do with it, but I freaking love it, and I don't plan to sell it because it just looks that gorgeous. But yeah, that is a really interesting engine. Unfortunately, I have no track to run it on, but it's a really cool engine. But that is pretty much it for this roster showcase. So I got a few new engines, you could tell. The previous year I had 57, I think I already stated that, and then this year I have 65, so I have a few more, but I actually gained about 10 or so new engines, so I actually sold off a few too. Pretty interesting to compare. But yeah, so that is all my engines. As you can see, there's a huge emphasis on Santa Fe and Pennsylvania, because those are my main two railroads. And I try not to diverge too much. As you can see, the one engine that's really out of my era is the F40PH, but I just love Amtrak, so screw you. But yeah, I do have some other engines like Southern Pacific, New York Central. I have some B&O. This one's B&O. These are both New York Central. I also have some acid nickel plate road, as I said. And yeah, just a few other random railroads and whatnot. But for the most part, I focus on Santa Fe and Pennsylvania, and I'd like to think I have a pretty solid fleet of each railroad's engines. And yeah, I'm pretty much done collecting. I don't plan to get any new engines really anymore. I say that, but I just watch. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty I'm pretty satisfied with my fleet right now, and so yeah, I don't plan to get too many new engines. But anyways, that's pretty much it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you guys are impressed. I don't know. It's a pretty big fleet. I don't think I can fit many more on this table. So yeah. In any case though, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.